morning students. Cross anatomy of internal ear membranous labyrinth. Here we draw the membranous labyrinth. First we'll write the title membranous labyrinth, and we are going to draw here. Let us first draw this as the anterior semicircular duct, and this anterior semicircular duct will have a common opening with posterior semicircular duct. So therefore anterior, posterior, and then we show here lateral semicircular duct. This one will be the ampullary segment of lateral. This one will be the ampullary segment of the anterior, and here this will be the ampullary segment of posterior semicircular duct. And we know that this one will be crus commune. This is the crus commune, that is the anterior and posterior combining together and opening as one duct. Therefore, now we should name this as anterior semicircular duct. Here we should give the name as posterior semicircular duct. Please note down that the anterior semicircular duct is also known as superior, and this one as lateral semicircular duct. These are membranous labyrinth. Please note down. Now they are opening. Where are they opening? They are opening in the membranous labyrinth of utricle, and that utricle will be oblong shaped. So please draw this utricle in this manner. This is how the utricle will be drawn. This is oblong shaped utricle, and here also we shall draw like this. Here I will mention this as utricle. In front of utricle, it will be connected with saccule. Saccule is membranous sac, but it is globular. Please note down this, both the utricle and saccular shape. So saccule will be, here I will make the saccule as globular. This is how it will be of the shape, globular. So this will be saccule. Utricle is oblong shape. Both are membranous sac only, SACS, membranous sacs. This utricle and saccule are joined together by utriculosaccular duct. What is the shape of utriculosaccular duct? It will be Y-shaped. So let us make this as Y-shaped utriculosaccular duct. This is how the utriculosaccular duct will appear. And we will name this portion as utriculosaccular duct. Remember, it is Y-shaped. Now this Y-shaped utriculosaccular duct will extend outside, and it will end in, see here, it will end in saccus endolymphaticus. So here I can write this as saccus endolymphaticus. This is ductus endolymphaticus. So ductus and saccus endolymphaticus will be an outpouching of membranous labyrinth of utriculosaccular duct. Sorry. Remember, we have discussed this. They will form an outpouching through aqueduct of vestibule. So therefore, this will be known as the aqueduct of vestibule. And where is aqueduct of vestibule present? That also we have discussed previously. That will be present beneath the dura mater on the posterior wall of petrous portion of temporal bone, behind the opening of internal acoustic meatus. So therefore, What is the fluid that is flowing through this membranous labyrinth? There will be flowing of endolymph, and that is why this sac will be known as ductus endolymphaticus also. Saccus and ductus endolymphaticus, through an opening in aqueduct of vestibule. But it is a blind pouch. It is a blind pouch. And it will come out through the aqueduct of vestibule. It is located through the aqueduct of vestibule. Then we come to saccus. Saccule, sorry. This saccule will be which shape? It will be globular shape. What is the shape of utricle? It will be oblong shape. Now these two membranous sac, they will continue anteriorly. So therefore, to be more specific, saccule will continue anteriorly through ductus reunions. So therefore, let me make this duct, and this duct I will make it as ductus reunion. This will be known as ductus reunion. Where will it connect? This ductus reunion will connect with the duct of cochlea. So therefore, now we shall draw the cochlea in such a way that it will continue with, in this manner. We are drawing this duct of cochlea, and here we will continue the spiral formation of this duct of cochlea. Exact diagram. Now here, this pointed tip will be known as ladina, or it is pronounced as lagina. Let us note it as lagina. Spelling is L-A-G-A-E-N-A. Therefore, this will form the apex. Lagina will form the apex of cochlear duct. What will form the base? The base will be formed by ductus reunion, through which the cochlear duct will communicate with saccule. Saccule will communicate with utricle through utriculosaccular duct, and utricle will receive posteriorly the three semicircular ducts through how many openings? 5 openings. Therefore, this entire structure, this which we have drawn, is membranous labyrinth. Now, surrounding membranous labyrinth, yesterday we have discussed bony labyrinth. So to show bony labyrinth, simply we have to draw, with the help of yellow color, we will draw a bony shelf. Say this. This is the bony shelf. This is how we have to draw. And here we will complete this bony shelf vestibule, which will cover the sacculoutricle, and semicircular ducts will be covered by semicircular canal. We are simply enclosing. We don't want to go in various detail because bony labyrinth we have already finished. This bony labyrinth will cover the semicircular ducts as semicircular canals. It will enclose the saccule and utricle as vestibule, and the same bony labyrinth will cover the entire turnings of the cochlear duct as cochlea. So how many turns will be there of the cochlear duct? Membranous labyrinth, the same turnings as the cochlea of the bony labyrinth. That is 2 and 3/4. In membranous labyrinth, the apex will be at lagina, and in case of bony labyrinth, it is asked in MCQs or in Viva or maybe 1 mark question answer. Please note down. In case of bony labyrinth, scala tympani and scala vestibuli will communicate with each other through an apex of the cochlea, and that apex of cochlea will be located at the same point but covering this membranous labyrinth, that is in bony cochlea. So in the previous diagram where we have drawn the bony cochlea, where the apex is shown, in that point there should be helicotrema. That point will be known as helicotrema, H-E-L-I, helicotrema. What is helicotrema? That is very commonly asked. That is an apex in the bony labyrinth of cochlea where scala tympani and scala vestibuli will communicate with each other. And we know that scala tympani and scala vestibuli are the bony spaces in bony labyrinth. That is helicotrema. This is lagina. This is the apex of membranous labyrinth in the duct of cochlea. So here, this is the first diagram of membranous labyrinth. Very simple line diagram, and this is how you have to describe the entire membranous labyrinth. Posteriorly, you describe these three semicircular ducts. In the middle, you describe the utricle and saccule as I have discussed with you. And anteriorly, you describe the cochlear duct.